Welcome to the award-winning Sports Watch Show right here on Radio Turks and Caicos. I'm Chris Jarrett, your special guest host, alongside with me,
Godfrey Been.
And inside the nation's capital, just arriving fresh from Grenada, we have none other than... She's not here, Sharon Simons, alongside with Kalsey Brooks. Are you there, Kalsey? Okay. All right. So we have a full show for you this evening. And of course, many persons want to hear a lot about what happened in Grenada for track and field. But let's backtrack a little bit. On Wednesday of last week, we were treated to the international game right here in Turks and Caicos. The Turks and Caicos Islands Football Association took on Anguilla right here in the beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands. And we're going to talk about two matches. We're going to talk about the first match and the second match. You may remember we invited Coach Lawerence to our microphones. He was here with us the last go around. But we're so successful that today we not only have the coach, we also have the captain. So we're going to talk about two games. And so Coach Lawerence, Coach Billy, welcome to Sports Watch right here on Radio Turks and Caicos. How are you gentlemen doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having us again.
You're most welcome. And
I'm doing good. Thanks for having us. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. Now, Coach, we'll start with you.
Yes.
The first game played away ended up 0-0. Take us from beginning to end. What was that game like for you?
It was a good game. For overall, the team have played well. We played to plan. You know, we go there to win this game, but we didn't. But we get a point from it, which was a plus for us to come back home and really capitalize on what we have done. I must lift my hat off to the players. I think they have given them all. They have go there, they fight in the Lions den, and we get a point for that first game. But we come back at home and we drew the game 1-1 also at home. And we lost in the dreaded penalty shootout. It's nobody's game when you went to penalty. It can go both ways, and that's it's unfortunate that it go against us. Which we could have get that win and move on to the next phase of the competition. But all said and done, we think that was overall the players have played well. The players have done what they had to do. They couldn't have given us more than what they have given us. So I must say that I'm feeling proud of all the players who have performed in both games and all the players who have given them all, because they go there and they fight. And I think it's one of the best games that I've seen since I've been here for 4.5 years now. I'd played, especially in the last game at home. They were going for it and they were doing. And I must give credit to the other team too, because the other team, they played well. They played to their plan, and they have done what they can do to really get this win.
Mm. Captain Billy, no stranger to RTC. How was that game for you when you traveled to Anguilla with your team?
It was a good game. I mean, we had a game plan. We executed the game plan. It was unfortunate to come home without the win, but I think in any situation, if you tell any team you're going to go away and come back with a draw, and you had a time to reset and regroup, any team will take it. But unfortunately, we didn't get the win at home, so it was good.
I saw the frustration on your face in game 2. As a matter of fact, I just had the privilege of watching the game just prior to arriving in studio. And it was tough for you being captain and trying to get everything running. I could see the frustration as you tried to build the momentum. But after you missed the penalty in the first few minutes of the game, you redeemed yourself with that second goal. The joy I saw from the players on the field was overwhelming with the celebration of finally scoring and redeeming yourself. Take us back to that moment when it was set up for you, the square, and you were able to bypass 2 defenders and beat the goalkeeper to execute that goal.
Yeah, for any players, once you miss a PK, it's difficult. So in my head, I'm thinking, hey, next game, next opportunity, keep going. So as I'm trying to replay that in my head, I got the chance, beat the 2 defenders and put it away, and it was beautiful. But like I said, unfortunately, we didn't get the win in PK situation, but it's part of the game. You know, we live and we learn. So.
But the PK you took, you had the ball in the right space. You were going in the right direction for beating the goalkeeper, but I think you hesitated as you ran in. Why?
I did not hesitate.
It
So
looked
actually,
that way.
what happened was I hit the grass before I made contact with the ball in the first PK.
Okay.
So that way the ball didn't have the power that I wanted to put behind the ball. So in the second one, I hit the ball perfectly, and I put the ball the same spot I wanted to put it, and it was a goal. But unfortunately, those things happen in soccer. So.
Indeed. So, Coach, when you now look back at this game that we played at home, the fans were behind you, the cheering, everything was beautiful, but we just couldn't have made it over for that point. What do you do now with the team?
As we speak, I was just at the training ground with some of the younger boys working, because we have to keep going. We have to continue build the program, because you never stop here. September we have the Nation Leagues coming up, so we have to continue to work with these guys and continue to push them. We have the under 20 players mixed with a few older players that played in the league here in Turks and Caicos. So we keep working with these players now. They're doing some fitness and strength conditioning with some of the guys and from the sports commission. So we have to continue. We have to continue to work. Yes, the vibe was good. The more all the players are feeling disappointed. We have to keep them going. That's part of the game. I let them know that it happened to the best of us. The greats and the greats are missed penalty in these kind of situation. And when it comes down to these kind of situation, it's any man games, because tension, nerves, and I think it's the first we had so many people in the stadium for the first time playing at home. Since I've been here, I don't know before, but since I've been here, it's the most spectator we have at this game. So sometimes that tension, which that should have given you the energy and the boost, but that said give you so much less energy. Where they try to play for their family, they try to do it for themselves, and it never worked. So we have to just put that beside us, put that behind us, and then we move forward. And looking forward to the Nation Leagues that are coming up in September.
Did you change anything after the very first match you played? Did you change anything in the second match going into the second half?
Yeah,
that would have allowed it to be different.
We changed personnel in the first. Then we started with a different team the second game, because when we see them and how they played, we want someone in front to give us more energy. And we bring Shan in front to push and to fight against. We have some big, strong defenders. And we'll change it up a bit. Second half, we try to change it again to bring another skillful player that we have, where can use the ball well and can move the ball. But then, it never works. You get injured, so you have to come off again. And, that's part of the game, that you tried to mix up the things that you see and try to go against the team that we had played against before and work on their weaknesses and trying to exploit from there. And it worked to an extent. It worked, but we never get the win when you go to the penalty shootout.
I'm listening to your talk about this game, and my mind went back to when Turks and Caicos in the past. Always down 3, 4, 5, 7 points, and today you're saying we're tied. We matching them foot to foot. It's a lot of progress. That's a hell of a lot of progress from where we were to where we are now. And the head goes off to you and the players. And I want to ask you earlier what you was doing about what you have done about this, and you said strength training. So that tells me that that was missing in the past. So now you add that strength training with your training, and these guys are now matching foot to foot, strive to strive with other players. You're only going to get better. Now, this disappointment may be happening, but our disappointment in the past is to match the ball. Now you're getting to a point where now you see that other factors take place where disappointment gets set in. This is only called maturity, like Billy and you alluded to. So you can just continue sticking with your program and continue with what you're doing, enhancing on that. All I see is bright future. If you can continue in this manner.
Absolutely. And when you look at our team that played, I think Billy is the eldest of all the players that are played in this game. The youngest player for us was like 15, 16, and he was one of our more outstanding player through that game, along with Billy here and so forth. And when you look at the age group of the team is under 20, 21 is the oldest, apart from Billy and Junior and Raymond and Sean, which are much older than these players, and all these players are just coming back from the under 20 World Cup qualifying. So we'll put them together with the senior heads, which is, is good for building, a program from there on. So in the near future, which is, this year, I think we're going to get some wins, and we're going to do some crazy things here for these people.
And also to go back on your comment, you got to realize we're a small country, right? The pool that we have to pick from, it's small. It's only a few of us that actually from here. The rest of our team is, most of them from Haiti, Jamaica, and most of them sometimes they don't have the paperwork to actually play for us. So it's like you have 30 players to pick from, where other teams, other countries have like hundreds of players to pick from. So it's like, it's a process for us. For me, coming in as a young player in 2008, and then now as a senior player that's leaving, I feel really comfortable with what I've seen so far with our team, with our country, moving forward. But hopefully we have younger player from Turks and Caicos Island that wants to play soccer, wants to learn, because as I'm saying right now, we only have 2 or 3 of us that play professionally. So it's like, for me, I would love to see more Turks and Caicos Islanders play professionally, more BOTC players play professionally, more of us that play professionally, so when we come back we can have a better national team as far as soccer goes. So.
How's the scouting going island-wide as you look towards enhancing or strengthening your national team?
Island-wide, we use the competitions that go in, like the high school competition, the league, that Fortis competition that they have, and we go around the different islands and train those players, and then we select from there and put them. We had a boy from South, Kyle. He never played any international game before, and we put him in there, and he was one of our more outstanding defenders that are there. So we go around the island and look for players, and then we go and watch all the competition that they have, and then we select players from there, and we train them, and we look at their weaknesses, and we work on it and try and get them better.
Before I go to Kalsey and Grand Turk, Billy said something a while ago that kind of flicked on a light. He spoke about leaving eventually. We know that soccer has a shelf life of X amount of years. Where's the next Billy coming from? And how much time do we have left with this Billy?
For me, I think we have until January with this Billy.
Oh, wow.
You want to go earlier, but I'm trying to, stop him from doing so. Not yet. But you never find another Billy in football. You find someone else who will do a different job than what Billy have done, because you can never find that kind of person there again. You just have to work with the kids that you have now and try and help them to be better than where they are now and to become better. But to say to find another Billy, there can be another Billy. But to find someone else who can represent and do the job as closest to Billy, or even better than where he is. So, you know, we were working on it. We're trying to see which one of the younger players, as we speak. You know, Emmanuel is one of the players that we're looking at. Is the 16-year-old boy that, you know, I just spoke about, that played in both senior games, and he's the one that, you know, I think can carry us through. If his work ethics is good, his attitude towards training is good. He don't miss training, even if we go away and come back and have training the next day. He's a boy always on the field. So I think he's the one that I really thought in to go places and can do something for us.
So you have the right attitude.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Kalsey Brooks and Grand Turk, what do you have to say to Billy and, of course, Coach?
Sacramento, man. You know, like, even in Grand Turk, you see adults out there, you see kids out there, and you even see younger kids out there. They're trying their best to perfect their skills. And I want you guys to just be encouraged. You know, sometimes it's tough when you go abroad and you have those tough losses, but nevertheless, you know, continue to try his best to see if he can attract some of the better players out there in the Turks and Caicos, and you know, just roll with it and go hard and continue to do your best.
Good point there, Kalsey, in terms of rolling hard and having some players go right ahead. Mackinson Cadet, did I get that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strong player on your squad.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left with him also?
Mackinson is pretty young. He's about 20, 22,
Okay.
22, 23, somewhere there about. So he have a long longevity in him. As we speak, I was talking to, he's in Jamaica now playing for Cavaliers in the Premier League. He's been there for what, 2 years now since he's been there. And I was just talking to a friend of mine in the UK. You know, we're trying to get him somewhere over there for next summer. So we're working on that. So to move him from Cavaliers to there. So he have longevity. He's going to be one of our stronger leader in the team, you know, to take the mantle from Billy to lead the team and push the other younger boys them together.
Judging from that example, you have him playing in Jamaica in one of the most highest played game I can remember in the Premier League. Would that be the right plan for the next 10? To be able to go off and get that experience as Billy has gotten, that kind of experience elsewhere as well?
Yeah, it is. I think a plan can work, and a plan that can be executed. You know, if the players wanted to do so, because I wanted to send some of these younger boys to high school in Jamaica to go to finish high school and playing that high school league, Manning Cup, the Costa Cup. And some of the parents, you know, never want that to happen. I don't know why. They're probably scared of Jamaica or something. We're trying to get some more players to play it in these teams in Jamaica also. Cavaliers is there. You know, whenever player I want to send there, I can send with no problem. They will take him, you know, Cavaliers, the Arnett, the Mount Pleasant. You know, my friend Theodore coaching at Mount Pleasant. So, you know, we've been talking to get players. Whitmore. Yeah. We get players down there to play in the league, because it's a stepping stone. You can go there, do 2 years, 1 year, and then you can move on to bigger things.
So the lack of competition in Turks and Caicos is one of the drawbacks for the national team.
Yeah, it is. Because if you look at the leagues now itself, you know, our younger players are competing with older players, and they're doing much better than most of the older players in this league. They dominate the league, so to speak. Yeah, we haven't won it yet, but they have done good work in the league to say. But this alone can't help them. You have to go and compete against other teams that is there and their level. And these are the things that will, when you look at it, here they dominate in the league here, but when they go to play internationally or to play, it's a different ball game. So the league, we were always there to help and to push them to an extent. But when you look at it, it's not the ideal for them, but it is a start. For the players here to really start in this league and then take it from there and go elsewhere.
Yeah, I think from what Coach says, our league should be a place where players start, but the next step should be, can we look into getting them to college so they could play maybe 2 years, 3 years like I did and move up to the professional ranks, and then from there get their experience and then maybe come back home when they finish their career and play. But we need more competition as far as our players goes. Like young athletes, they need to start going away, start to play for college, maybe play USL, MLS, and go from there. Because the more players we could have overseas playing, when we come back, we have a stronger national team. So that's the next step, I think.
So let's look at your future in soccer. Is it now to head off to the UK and play for one of those clubs as you now move on from here for a new crop to come in?
My goal would be to retire in the next 6 months. I feel like I've paid my dues. Right now, I'm the top goal scorer for Turks and Caicos Island ever. Top assist, what I have done. I don't think anybody else has done it. I think I have paid my dues to my country, to my dad who's from Middle Caicos. My goal would be to retire in the next 6 months, move to the UK for law school to go to law school.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's my plan. I just graduated a couple months ago with a master in business. So my goal would be to win another game with the national team and then walk away from it. So I think I started in 2008. It's almost been 16, 17 years. So I think it's a good time for me to
Billy, listen,
to take a break.
Listen, before your coach says anything, because I could see the eye, Godfrey.
It's a January.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I mean, on behalf of the entire Turks and Caicos body, lovers of the game of football, we sincerely thank you for taking everything that has occurred to your body and for, of course, delivering for us when it was challenging and you came out on top most times. I remember, I think it was 2008 when I first interviewed you, and you played your game and we spoke about it, and just to hear your enthusiasm and your intelligence and to look at you now, it shows the maturity and growth of what you have done in this game. And I want to say salute to you as you move on. And I don't think we've seen the end of you just yet. And I don't think retirement is on the books just yet. I still believe that we may see you play for maybe, you never know, maybe Liverpool, maybe Man.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know, honestly. I mean, I remember in 2008, before our interview, because my dad from Middle and my mom from Haiti. So it was a chance where I could represent the Haitian national team or the Turks national team. And I remember this vividly when my dad was like, you could play for Haiti and you could play for 5-6 years because everybody already done everything in Haiti. But you could play for your country, you could play for your dad's country, and you could change the game forever. You could be the best player who ever played the game of soccer in Turks and Caicos Island. And that conversation drove me. And I think I've achieved that. And I think I've done what me and my dad talked about. And I think I've made my country proud. going overseas, the first athlete to have a scholarship to move overseas, the first athlete to play professional that's from Turks. I think I've done it. I don't know. I want to win one more game with Turks before I move away. If that happened in September, then I could call it quit. And if it don't happen, maybe I'll talk to coach to bring me back.
I would like, you know what? Let me. Godfrey is the president, but I'm going to definitely take off his hat for a second. I'll say this much to you: if you win in September, it means you continue until January, and I know Sonia will back me on it. I know the rest of the hierarchy will back me on it. I'm not even talking about coach in front of me. I'm talking about everybody who's back at the office. You are very important to this game. We don't have a lot of celebrities. And what you have to remember is this. Everyone looks up to a role model. And in this game right now, right here, at this date, this point, you are it. You are what we call the Maradona of Turks and Caicos. You're what we call the, if I was to come forward to even the stars that are playing currently now, you are it. And so that's who we look up to. And of course, whenever we come out to watch the game, we're looking for you wearing that number, whether it's number 7, number 9, or I think number 10 it used to be.
At one point.
At one point it was number 10, right. We look for that number coming out on the field. And the minute we see you, everybody is at peace because they know a goal is coming.
Appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Coach, I think I just paid my dues for you.
Yes, I see it. But I think Billy can help us for the rest of the year going forward. Where we can transition a youngster to really come and play the role and try and play the role, so to speak. We think we have a nation league coming up in September. I wanted him to stay on a little bit more longer to help, to go to that campaign and see where we can end up and take the team to the next phase, because in the nation league you have a lower level and you have a higher level. So we wanted to step from this one and go into the higher level. So he haven't achieved that yet, so I wanted him to achieve that goal where he take the team from the lower level and bring the team to the next level, where we can move into a bigger group,
Go from Gold Cup upwards.
Shoot towards the Gold Cup campaign. So that goal I wanted him to have too on his CV, to say, hey, I'm the first to really take the team to the next round.
I like that.
That's important.
Yeah.
It's a great sales pitch.
That'd be good on your resume.
For sure.
All right, so before we let you gentlemen leave us, because we're just about out of time, anyone in Grand Turk, Kalsey, Sharon, any of you guys have anything to add to Billy and Coach as they leave us today?
I just want to say to Coach, continue to do your best, continue to bring soccer to a higher level, and I hope that you would find some players that would actually make it to the professional level. I wish you all the best for that. So continue striving, continue scouting, continue training, continue doing your best, doing the best that you can to get the national soccer team the best it could be. Just continue doing that, and hopefully someday, somehow, you'll attract some players that are focused and willing to make that move and go to professional level. To the player on the side of you, I just want to say thank you for your contribution, and I hope you continue to, strive and achieve whatever goal you're planning to undertake. I know you said you've been doing soccer from 2008, I think it was, but when soccer in you, it's in you, just like any other sport. If you're a basketball player, basketball is in you. If you're a track star, track is in you. So I know you're not going to leave the sport of soccer completely. So I just want to wish you all the best in all your future endeavors. And, maybe someday you'll come back and you'll be a coach. And, you'll probably bring the national team to join some more players that can follow in your footsteps.
That's commendable.
Actually, that's what he's doing now. Coaching, he's doing his coaching license, and also he's working with us, with the younger kids, helping in the grassroots. So he's giving back, and he's giving a lot to this country and this nation. But one of my goals are to get players from here to play in different leagues abroad and to play it in academies away. And I will not stop until I get at least 4, 5, 6 players out of here to play somewhere in Europe and to play somewhere in the United States. And it will happen. And if it don't happen this year, it will happen next year.
How far off, one second, Godfrey, how far off is getting a little bit more out of the school curriculum in soccer? Because I know it's just a very short window and it's really tight. But if we could get more out of the school curriculum with soccer, how far is that off for you guys?
I think the school have to put soccer in their PE programs. Okay. To start from the PE department, because in my country, in Jamaica, when we have PE, plenty soccer we played in the PE. But here, I don't think they have that time, because what happened in Jamaica, you have time for PE, for football, you have a next for track and field, you have a next for cricket, and so forth. So you have to have that kind of plan where you have a football season, you have a track and field season, you have a cricket season, and you have basketball season or softball or whatever they play here. If you don't have a season, then you won't grow the sport as far as how you wanted to have it.
Okay. Sharon Simons is in Grand Turk, and gentlemen, you have to excuse her. She just came back from Grenada with the Carifta team. Sports Watch was there, and you'll hear much more about it when you guys leave the studio. But Sharon, we're here with, of course, Billy, and Coach. What do you want to say to them?
Good night, Jackson Jacob. Forgive my voice. I think I've lost my voice a bit after Grenada. But I want to say congratulations to Coach Billy for what they have done for soccer here and the advancement of the national team. All the accolades that Billy has achieved. And like you said to him, he's one of our national heroes here, where the young soccer players can emulate. He's somebody that they can look up to and continue on the road that you're going. And I'd like to wish you all the best of luck when the endeavors of what you're going to do in the future. And like Kalsey said, I hope you would consider coming back home and coaching, if that is something that you want to do. And to coach going forward in September, I wish you the best of luck. And Billy, yes, I think we want to see you play until January. I echo those sentiments that Chris said.
Yeah, definitely. We have to get you, Billy, staying on a little bit longer, and I'm glad Sharon said that. It's really hard. I still remember the fights, and there are certain documentaries that Maradona. Well, not the last years, but the years before, the struggles and the frustration of trying to get Argentina to beat Brazil. It was, you would remember that Jamaica is a famous Brazilian country. But the rest of the world really were rallying behind Argentina that period because they wanted it to happen. And that little left foot player made it happen. And that's history within itself. Can you imagine you yourself being able to take Turks and Caicos? You never know. Maybe to the World Cup. Just getting there will be just a dream come true. It will be miraculous for all of us.
Yeah, I think, like Coach says, it's a step, right? If we could get Turks and Caicos Island to move up to the next stage, I think that would be a World Cup win for us.
Yeah.
I think right now the boys are getting ready. We're preparing for September. I think we need to take it a little bit more serious, because on an island where everyone is laid back, we need to be a little bit, because other countries like the U.S. where I've played all my life, it's everything is seriously. You take everything seriously. If we could do that here on the island, then we'll be ready for anything. But in September, I think we will win. We will get something going for sure.
And I think that's the aggression and the frustration I see from you on the pitch because the players aren't taking it seriously. That's why you get upset.
Yeah, but it come with age. I mean, you playing with 15, 16 years old. You know, it's maybe the way I take the game. It's like the game.
a business.
It's a business
It's a
and it's a
business.
job for me.
Yeah.
So I take it more seriously. I'm trying to get on him to do it, to see it that way. But it'll come to them, but it'll take time. It'll take time for sure.
All right. Gentlemen, your final comment. September's coming up, not very far away. Dates, what are we looking forward to? Of course, we're going to bring you back, but yes.
We're looking forward to a good showing of the boys. We keep working. We never stop from work, and we just have to continue to push them and continue to get the best out of them. You know, like Billy said, these players have to get it in their head and get it more serious about what we want to achieve and what we want to get out of it, and push themselves. You know, we can't be the ones that pushing them. They have to push themselves for themselves, and wanted goals to achieve things, wanted to go places, wanted to move out of Turks and Caicos and not staying here. Some of the guys are more comfortable being here and working at the hotels, working at the supermarket, which cannot help them. I always say to them that, listen, the hotel is going to be always there. You should be the one that to come and holiday in the hotel and go to the supermarket and buy your friends and family big groceries and so forth. So you have goals and dream and inspiration, and these are what we're trying to push them with.
For me, I think what I would like to see is more young players playing soccer, more athletes trying to play and grow the sports. So hopefully in the next 5, 10 years, 15 years, we have a better national team, a better Turks and Caicos Islands.
All right. Godfrey, anything from you?
No, I was going to say quite a lot, but I'll say the next set because it's also relating to track and field as well and all sports. It's about speaking to parents and speaking to the athletes. So what I'm going to say in
All right. So we'll hold that. We'll hold that.
And I get a lot of that, hearing a lot of that when I was in Grenada, and I'll speak more to that. So if you're listening, you can understand.
Yeah,
For sure.
All right, so keep listening. All right, gentlemen, thank you so very much. Sharon, let's shoot it over to you real quick. How was the trip back from Grenada?
She looks tired.
I know.
I'm tired, gentlemen. Trust me. But Grenada was enjoyable for us. We came out with a bronze medal. We were hoping for 2 or 3 more medals, but it didn't happen. But we were excited about the bronze medal that we did get. The showing by the team, Turks and Caicos team, I think we have come a long way, Chris, from what I've seen, and I saw over the years, and the last Carifta that I went to in Cayman, I've seen improvement from there to the games in Grenada. All the athletes, we had personal bests that they beat their personal bests. We had the relay team that break the national record, Turks and Caicos record. So all in all, the games went well for Turks and Caicos. A few disappointments where we dropped to 4th in the heptathlon and the 3,000 meters that we came in 4th place. But they did well. And I must say for the overseas athletes that were competing in Jamaica, we know that competed in boys and girls champs a week before the Carifta Games. They did extremely well because the pressure was on them to perform, and some of them had injuries, and they still went out there and did their best to represent the Turks and Caicos.
athletes, they perform to the best of their ability, and you can see the growth in our athletes. You know, where in the past our athletes was just streaming in, they were foot to foot with the athletes. So that tells me that we have done a lot to an improvement of the training of the athletes. Where much more have to be done, but I'm proud to where we are now. It is showing growth and promise, and we only could get better from here. It takes all of us. It takes from the president right down to the athlete to itself. And when I say president, it comes from my level to translate it to the level of the federations and coaches and all the training people and the athlete themselves. That's called for dedication, and we have to put a lot more into it to make the athletes better. The athletes have to have their mind right, and
discipline.
And we have a young athlete that he can speak more to that. And I always say to all of them, I can give you all the training in the world, but if your mind is not right and you're not serious, it's useless. So, and I said this earlier, I take this from the Cayman coach. When I watched those two Cayman athletes, I mean, they ran down Jamaica. I mean, the whole stadium was like, where this came from? And I spoke to the minister, who was former minister of sports. Just after that, you know, I have a great friend over named Carson in Jamaica, and in Cayman Islands, we're best of friends. And him and Carson is also best of friends. And he said to me, this has been before I left my post as minister of politics. I gave it up for whatever reason. These two young boys had the right attitude. Their right attitude, right mindset, but they needed money behind them. They needed to go somewhere to get better. President came in was like, you know, you spend our money, blah, 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 blah. And so that's his last act he did as minister. He take that money, send it to the college, and put it on these young boys. And he said that is what paid off today. Wow. So now everybody came and jumping, yes, you know, yeah, we have money good spend, but they didn't see it at the time when he was spending it. And so our government, our people, our corporate community, we need to take the athlete who is serious, who has the right mindset, the attitude is right, and put the money behind them, because that's what you get out of those kind of athletes. Parents, you can't sit there and hope for your child to be better if you don't give your child a chance. If someone is offering your child a scholarship somewhere, you know, yes, he is in high school, but he's not going to be always in high school. He's going to leave high school. Where he's going to be after high school, you know, and then you're going to say, oh, I wish give your child a chance. But what you have to do is make sure he's going to the right place with the right environment, with the right people. And that's your job, and that's my job as well, and also the government job, to make sure that the kids is placed in the right environment and always looking after somebody, paying attention to them. But you have to let them go, because that is what brings the gold medal to Turks and Caicos. That's what brings the lawyer and the doctor to Turks and Caicos, because they are be coming back with something. Did Billy say you're going to study now?
Yeah.
Law. So it starts at this young age, and it starts with us letting our kids loose, rather than crying later about them being in a grave or them being in a jail or them. And that is what really happens here. We are too tight on holding on our kids and not letting them go. But the Grenada was great. Lots of things I see that could have been a whole lot better. A whole lot better. But
we're going to talk about that.
But there are things that also open your eyes to, and then, you know, and all of us have seen it, you know, from myself to the athletes and coaches and fans. I'll be happy to go back to Grenada to another Carifta games.
Trinidad.
Because I know there's a different experience there. And then, but we got to make sure that we have our athletes ready, much more ready than we are ready now. So I'll let that be for a bit, sir, and you guys.
All right. Well, it's more than a mouthful. but it was a necessary contribution to be made to those of you who are watching Sports Watch, for those of you who are listening to our program around the world, and for those of you who are following us right now on Facebook. A special good evening to you if you're just joining us. It is my pleasure to welcome back to Sports Watch another medalist. This has never been done. Now, I don't know if you were following us throughout the whole procedure of Carifta. We were posting every photograph, every interview, everything you saw came in real time, courtesy of RTC, and we thank Sharon Simons for that. But it wouldn't have happened without the help of this young man who is sitting here, who travels extensively, works really hard, fought through tremendous injuries to bring us that little thing around his neck, the bronze medal.
Greg, highlight that.
Antwon Walkin. Now, we need to get a close-up of that. No, welcome back to Sports Watch. It's so good to have you back. How are you feeling, first and foremost?
Thank you. It's great to be here. Always great to be in you guys' company. It's great. It's great to be back. Great to be home. You know, as you guys said, competing injured. You know, there's no place like home in your bed after long competition. Mm-hmm. And so I thank my skippings and my parents for coordinating to give me this opportunity to come home after the games, you know, to get a little bit of rest before heading back to school next week.
Wow, next week. Yeah. How are you feeling from your injuries that you sustained during the course of this Carifta Games and Poise Champs?
Yeah, I can't leave out boys champs. I like to take this time to big up my school, Kingston College.
Yes.
You know,
congratulations.
Yeah, a lot of my success today wouldn't have been here without them. And so, you know, as much as you talk about hard work, you have to acknowledge the people who invested in you. And Kingston College has made a great investment in me. So I have to thank them, their Old Boys Association, my coach, Mr. Kanija Reyna, and the principal, Mr. Dave Murray, for the opportunity that they afforded me. But the Carifta Games, injuries happen for athletes. You know, it's a reality for athletes. Track and field, I always call it an ungrateful sport because I think that it's the worst concerning injuries. You know, the technicalities that are required for field event personnel, a little bit more than track events, because you can probably run on an injury that you wouldn't be able to jump or throw on. Mm-hmm. And so competing injured is just a part of the game, really and truly, in track and field. Competing injured is just something that athletes have come to grips with. And so I didn't think that I was any special. I didn't think I was special when I found out that I was injured, well, seriously injured. I took that as an opportunity to say, well, you just got to go out there and fight it. And that translated to boys champs coming fifth. You know, as team captain for KC, it was important for me to set an example for the other athletes. You know, you always ask them to go out there and give 110%. And so in this moment, my 110% would have been going out there, even if on only one leg, and getting points for the team, leading the team there. And so that translated also to Carifta as team captain for the Turks and Caicos Islands, you know, ensuring that the athletes see that no matter what it is, no matter what holds you down, you're always able to break those barriers. And, you know, my coach and I have a belief that pain has a lot to do with your mentality. You know, if you sit back and tell yourself that you're feeling pain, you're going to feel it a lot worse. Your body is going to operate a lot differently. So as much pain as I was in, as much as I wanted to sit down on the track and cry in between throws, I just went back and told Mr. Ford, no worry, I'm all right. we got another throw to do. And we did that for six rounds, and that ended in a bronze medal, and I wouldn't give it back for the world.
There you have it. Now, you said so much that I have to soak all of this in. You were the team captain for Kingston College?
Yes, sir, co-captain. Myself and Lawerence served as co-captains for this track and field season.
Do you know that that's historic? That has never happened. That an overseas, Kalsey and Sharon, an overseas athlete going to a school becoming team captain?
I also set that record as deputy head boy, the first international deputy head boy of the school as well. So that's another way that I can always thank Kingston College because of the leadership opportunities that they've afforded me. And, you know, what I wanted to leave at Carifta with these athletes this year is that your impact has to go beyond the track. And the thing that we always forget is that we're student athletes, right? And so the student part comes first for a reason. And so as much as I appreciated and was honored to be named team captain, I felt an extra privilege being deputy head boy because it cemented that athletes, beyond popular belief, are not fools. You know, they always say that athletes are the ones at the back of the class, athletes are the dunces. And that's a notion that I think we need to get rid of. Because some athletes are some of the most brilliant minds. I have some of my best friends, some of the most brilliant minds in Kingston College are athletes. You guys would know about Jaden Hibbert. Jaden Hibbert was a straight A student, a very good classmate and a good friend of mine. And so, you know, leadership, those leadership abilities have allowed me to set an example. You know, that's all I've ever wanted to do. Set an example and show people that no matter what people believe, no matter what people think of you, if you have the audacity to be excellent no matter what everybody else thinks, you'll go places. Excellence can carry you as far as greatness will guide you.
Indeed. Spoken like a
said,
true,
well
yeah, really well said. So let's throw it off to Kalsey Brooks, who watched you like I did from here. So Kalsey, we'll come to you first.
You competed and you gave it your best. But I must make mention that I've been following you for quite some while. I got you on Facebook. I got you on Instagram. So I know the work you put in. I know what you go through because, you know, I've been following you. But nevertheless, even before social media, I think it was the sports they had down at Providenciales. And I can't remember if it was the discus or the javelin, but you break the national record. And from there, I started to follow you, and I said, this guy could be great. And I think he was in high school then. He was in high school in Provo. And I said, this guy can really be great. One thing I could say, you ain't letting the Cox legacy down. That's what I got to say. You're not letting the Cox legacy down, and you're continuing to strive for excellence and, you know, just continue to make your parents, your uncles, your aunties, and I'm sure your grandparents, everyone is proud of you from what you have accomplished from a little boy going to school down in Providenciales up to this point, bringing home the bronze medalist for the Turks and Caicos Islands. So I urge you to continue to, you know, reach for the stars and do your best to perfect your craft. You know, just continue working hard, not only in sports, but also, you know, in education. And also doing your best to you know, put Turks and Caicos on the map, not only in athletics and education, but also being an all-around person.
For you, where do you go from here? Because this is your last year. You're graduating. What's next?
University is next. I have ambitions of being an architect and political scientist. So
Really? You heard that?
So university is definitely next. And of course, moving forward in track and field. You know, this may have been the closure of my Carifta chapter, but we have World Juniors looking forward to at the end of the year. We have World Championships, Olympics, all of that stuff coming up. Maybe not this time around, but for sure in the next 4 years, I hope to be on that level. And so we're just really and truly, I'm looking forward to it. My parents are looking forward to whatever God has in store for me in the future. I'm looking at a few universities, you know, have Howard on the list, University of Miami.
Okay.
I'm definitely academic based when it comes to school, because I think that the sports side, no matter where you are, hard work is what counts the most. And so you can get into a program no matter how talented you are, and if you're not putting in the work, you won't get the results you want. So I believe in finding a school that has that sound academic base first, and moving on to the sports part, not necessarily after, but ensuring that the sports can go with academics.
Very good.
One of the things that I said when you said when I was in Grenada is that the misgivings that you have to prepare him for 2026. That's the Commonwealth Games. Don't know where. Well, even if I do know, I can't say where it's going to be at the moment. But that is one of the things that we're looking forward to you preparing for. because I think he could do excellent there. He probably most likely could bring one of the gold medal back home. You have the right attitude towards it. I want to say this though, and when I was sitting in the stands down below, along with I came from up in the booth, and I came down below and was chatting with his dad, and he walked off and went to the far side to the long jump pit, and his mother's he was saying something signaling to his mother, you know, and we didn't understand what he was saying, and his mother said, he's the captain of the team, so he wants us to do something. I was like, what do you want us to do? And there she went down and come back and said, please cheer on my fellow schoolmate. And here was some of the folks, you know, raising the eye because he's Jamaican guy, right? And I said, yes, we have to cheer. He is one of us. He is the captain of the team, so we gotta help him out, help him with his boy. He wants to, and that is the kind of leadership. When I saw it, I said, you know what, you're gonna be a great leader someday because you don't let the Turks and Caicos Park cloud your judgment for what you're supposed to be doing. You are the captain of your school team. Yes, you may be international, but that is your role.
Yeah.
So you went out there and you're no longer now having a Turks and Caicos competing here. You went and helped your fellow, and that, I think that speaks volume to anyone listening. No matter what it is, if you are in charge of this, you leading this, you must put your all and all into it. Don't let no one sidetrack you. That is what your job is. That's what you take on. So I mean, I applaud you for that, and that's what I said to all the folks here. He's one of us. He's asked us to do this. He is in charge. Let's cheer him. Let's cheer his athlete on.
You know, part of how I look at it is, in years past at the Carifta Games and even some World Games, you know, NACAC under 20, 23, we don't have a specialist throws coach here in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
No.
And so that was one of the reasons why I actually left for Jamaica. And so at those games, a lot of the time, as much as Mr. Ford can do, he will. You know, and I thank Mr. Ford as well for the grassroots program at Quality Athletics. He and my stepfather, Christopher Foster, they're doing an excellent job in preparing athletes for these games. It takes a lot of help. And sometimes it takes the help of a Jamaican coach. Sometimes it takes the help of a Bahamian coach. Sometimes it takes the help of a coach from another country, you know, to give me a little tip that Mr. Ford might not be able to see, because at some of those games you can't record, so I can't make my own self-corrections. And so an athlete in need will always get help from me.
Correct.
Because I understand the struggle that is preparing for these championships. And, you know, the thing is with a championship, it's a completely different atmosphere. Track meets are one thing, competition is one thing, but when you get into that championship and the lights are on and the people are making noise and you hear people you've never met before screaming your name, you can get flustered really quickly.
Correct.
And so Kingston College is a brotherhood. I know people always hear me talk about it. They probably tired of hearing me talk about Kingston College. And so I saw my boys needed me. He needed me. He was in the 5th round, I think, of his competition, in 7th place. And, you know, he came in, I think, with the 2nd highest qualifier. He had a really long day, had high jump early, had a rough go of it. Had a rough go at the champs last week as well, thanks to some scheduling issues. And so he needed my help. And I know Rivon would have wanted to help him as well. That's my twin brother who is a jumper, so he would have been even more even-keeled to his issues. And so all I did was to video his jumps, send them off to the coach in Jamaica, and I told him, I said, listen, coach, he's here. He's in the competition, and we need a big jump. Tell me what he needs to do. And so I was able to basically coach him through those last 2 rounds, and that is why I asked for the support, because I know one thing with us Casey boys, when the lights are on, we'll show up.
Oh yeah.
And so
I know that.
He wasn't necessarily getting it elsewhere in the stand. So I asked my Turks and Caicos family, who I know love to support their Caribbean family, to support him in that moment. And I thank you guys for that.
Speak to the Turks and Caicos here and abroad about the inner workings of Jamaica's track and field. I know what it is, but I want them to hear it from you, because when you look at what Kingston College has achieved this year, congratulations on the boys' champs win.
Thank you.
And you look at what Calabar has done, and other schools, Stats to Jago, Camperdown, all these other big stalwarts, Jamaica College. We won't go there today. But I mean, the point is, they're there's a seriousness why Jamaica always seems to do so well. What is that ingredient that we need to get that our athletes can swallow and work towards?
I don't necessarily think it's something that they can just obtain. What happens in Jamaica, there's a hunger. You know, track and field is not just a sport to them. It's not just something that they enjoy. It's a way out of a bad situation. We have a privilege here in Turks and Caicos, especially as Turks Islanders. A lot of us don't go through the struggles that a lot of Jamaican children go through. You know, since we're talking specifically about the Jamaican program,
Right.
The backgrounds that they're coming from. And so they take track and field seriously because they see track and field as their way out. One of the reasons that drew me to track and field was the opportunities for free education. You know, regardless of whether or not my parents could afford to send me to college, I saw it as an opportunity where I have this talent, I have this gift from God, and it affords me the opportunity to get all the way up to a doctorate degree, free of cost, you know, and it allows me so many networking opportunities. That's something that I've talked about a lot recently, because you look up after 6 years of attending Carifta games, and you look back and you realize that you've made so many friends. You know, I have friends in almost every Caribbean country now, right? And so what happens in Jamaica, there's a hunger, a drive towards wanting something better for themselves, that when they push that into track and field, nothing can stop them. It's a passion. And so you see, what happens is, from the top down, Jamaica is serious about track and field. From the management all the way down to the last athlete, to the class 4 boys who are 10, 11 years old, even the ones who are in primary school. And to be honest with you, from a team captain's perspective, I have to deal with a lot of the management aspect, and it's complex and it's simplistic. It's simplistic in the fact that the goal is to develop athletes. That's the bottom line. You know, so if that means we need 10 specialty coaches, we get that. If that means athletes need to be fed every night, and I'm talking about KC, I can't really speak for the other schools. Right. But if that means athletes need to be fed every night, that's what we do. If that means that athletes need to see 5, 6 different team doctors, that's what we do. And I can throw my hats off to Kingston College as well, because they did a lot of work in terms of getting me prepared for champs with injuries. And also I give kudos to Ms. Skippings. Ms. Skippings and my mother worked at the 9th hour to get a physiotherapist on our team. We also have to thank Desmond Williams and the Wine Cellar Golf and Fishing Tournament for their sponsorship, because their sponsorship actually allowed our physiotherapist to travel with us. And without that physiotherapist, I wouldn't have been able to compete at the Carifta Games.
Wow.
So even that's something that we see in Jamaica, you know, that makes a difference. So it's really and truly with track and field, the small things. The small things make all the difference. And that's something that my grandmother, Leonie Hamilton, God rest her soul, always told us. She said that if you take care of the little things, the big things seem small. And so the smallest details in track and field, the smallest areas of logistics, is where Jamaica excels. They're always prepared for every single niggle that can happen. And that is where they are leaps and bounds against everybody else.
I deliberately asked you that question. Like I said, I knew the answer, but I needed everyone from top down to hear your response so they could understand what it is we now need to work towards. Thank you very much for that. Sharon, I'm going to let you go. Sharon, I know I've been deliberately resting your voice, Sharon. Literally, I've been deliberately resting your voice. But I'm sure you want to ask the champion here a question.
I don't really want to ask him a question, but I really want to say to all of you, the Turks and Caicos and around the world, that's under the sound of my voice, this young man is someone that we here in the Turks and Caicos are very proud of. He is very humble. And it's a testament to his parents and his upbringing and his support that he has around him. And he will go places. And he will be a leader. And he is a strong leader. And he has shown it. At such a young age, for him to be the captain, like you say, in Jamaica. He's a captain of our team. He's been attending Carifta for 6 years. And to show the athletes, that the young athletes that just went to Carifta this year, how are you supposed to conduct yourself? How do you go out and be a leader? How do you lead is a testament of his commitment to what his goals and what he wants to do in life. So I want to say to him, congratulations. I want to say to all of us out there, and all the young people, and the young men especially, in the Turks and Caicos Islands, get involved. He is somebody that you can look to. I don't want to put such a heavy burden on him, but he is a role model. He is one of our role models. Just like I said to Billy, when it comes to soccer, these are the young men that our younger men, younger children, should emulate. These are our Kobe Bryants. These are our Michael Jordans from the Turks and Caicos. These are our athletes that we go out and we support and we will be proud of. And every time you talk about them, you're proud of them in a way so that they can show the younger athletes that we have them. And when he said in Jamaica, it's a way out for athletes. It is so true. We are so privileged here, and we take for granted what we have here. So we don't have to work hard to get it. It's almost spoon-feed to us, and it's handed down to us. But in other countries, and especially around the Caribbean, we know that they have to work hard for what they get, because it's so much of the population. It's much larger than us here. It's a few of us. So we don't have to work hard for it. And that's what instilled and ingrained in the other Caribbean countries that they have that we don't have here. And Antwon, I am so proud of you as a Turks and Caicos Island, as a young man. And I said that to you when you were at Carifta. Continue to strive and make us even prouder. Even the way you speak, it makes us proud about Turks and Caicos and being proud of Turks and Caicos. So going forward, like I say, I want to see you one day in the Olympics. I mean, we know we don't have an Olympic team, but if you can get on another team, we will be proud of you because you will be a Turks and Caicos Islander no matter what. And if that's God's plan for you, then go ahead and do it. So that's what I wanted to say.
Well said, Sharon. Well said, Sharon. Yep, Godfrey.
Well, Sharon, pretty much said it all, but I want to say this. Leadership is something that you're born with, and that the Lord definitely gave that to you when you were born. I saw this young man throwing. I watched him. There were things going. Every time he threw, come out, I touched Mr. Forbes. I'm come back with Mr. Forbes to touch me and said, "You are up." And when I saw you through, I think it was your last throw. Mr. Jarrett, this young man even couldn't lift. He holding on to this, and he hopping, and then he got. I almost want to. I feel that pain. Almost one tears come in my eye because I know how much pain you were in. But you were throwing
all your might.
That put something in me, and I want Turks and Caicos to understand, and the young people to understand. Giving up is something that should never be in your vocabulary. You should never ever say I can't, because you transcended that in Carifta. You went out there. What pain? You probably say what pain, but after that discus left your hand, there was pain, because I saw you everything in your head, and you're holding, and when you went to the ground. That's called commitment. Yeah. That's drive. That's a gift. That's drive. Mm-hmm. That's all not giving up. So young people out there, young man especially, when somebody say you can't do something, just think about Antwon. If you're watching that television, I know they show it, where he persevered through that pain, through all of it all, and to throw that discus and end up in third position. And you could imagine if he was healthy. You could put it in your mind. You could imagine if he was healthy. And this is what the message to Turks and Caicos, young man. and also young ladies out there, but young man needed more than ever. You know, put down whatever you're doing and start to do something for yourself. And when you're doing it for yourself, then you can help your country as well and others. But you can think about yourself. Think about, you know, that person who say I can't, and show them that you can. And that begins from right there. Leadership, no doubt. I mean, words I can't find them. I mean, Sharon said it all, and anytime I want to say something, I just don't know how to all bring it up, because you show it.
Yeah.
I mean, you demonstrated the words that comes out of your mouth. I mean, the way you formulate them, the way your school peers talk about you, and the way you put the standards through your principal down, you know, and then come with Turks and Caicos and your dad. I mean, you're doing it all, and this is just natural ability. Mm-hmm. And I always say to folks out there in the international world, when they talk about athletes and what we are like, and say natural ability. I mean, that's it. And hard work along with that bring greatness. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Sharon, Olympics, the next one up is 2 years from now, the Commonwealth Games, and I'm looking for great things there. At the Commonwealth Games, you're not going to stop at you. I mean, whatever it is, you know, your father and I is good friends, your mother and I is good friends, and so the rest of your family, whatever I can do. I'm the Commonwealth Game president. I have
the power.
I have friends from the top to the bottom around the world, and something I can help it, just let me know. I mean, I tell them, don't think it can't happen. Godfrey Been don't give up either. I don't take no for an answer either. He tell me to put it here, I think about how I can get around to get back there. So don't think ever that that hurdle can't be crossed. It can be crossed. You just need the right timing, the moment, and to slip in and take it. And that's what it's about. So the message that you preach, you're carrying out there, never stop. Never ever stop. There are gonna be some moments, but chalk it up as moments. Mm-hmm. That's all it is, moments. That's it. Smile and move along. There can be times when persons want to lead you the wrong way, say the wrong thing. Just remember, I know where I want to go. That's not me. And it's a message for young Turks and Caicos Islanders that they need to adhere to and to follow.
One thing I'd say to the young people, I was elected TC3's Athletes Representative last year. And I want to say to them that I'm always available to you all. Whatever it is, mentorship, contact, if you need funds, whatever it is that you need, if I can advocate for you, I am willing to do that. You know, I've been afforded some of the greatest opportunities from Kingston College, from family members, and all I ever want to do is to really and truly provide that opportunity for someone else, because I can see what it has done for me. I see what it has done for my brother. I see what it has done for other junior athletes like Tanisha Gardner, like Renisha Johnson. These are persons who made tremendous improvements on their times this year at the Carifta Games. And you know, Tanisha and Rivon both come in just shy of bronze medals.
Yeah.
You know, and it hurt me for them. You know, I celebrated my medal a lot less this time because we all came with the mission of we were all going for gold.
Yep.
And to know that they both dealt with injuries, just as I did, you know, it was just hard. It was hard as a teammate, hard as a leader. Tanisha was the female captain of the team, and she led gracefully. You know, she didn't allow that to diminish any of the other team accomplishments. She didn't allow that to write the story of the Carifta Games. She led gracefully all the way through, even at the airport today. And so I just want to say to the athletes, if you take anything from what I've done, what Tanisha has done, what any great athlete has ever done, don't give up on yourself. And in not giving up on yourself, you have to believe in yourself. A lot of people talk about confidence. Of course, you can be overconfident. But in track and field, you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your ability. You got to know what you can do. And that only comes through the work. If you don't put in the work, there's no way you're going to believe in your ability. There's no way you're going to have the faith to trust your body to do the things that it needs to do to compete at a high level in track and field. So get into that training program. You know, Mr. Ford is there, Mr. Foster is there. There are other clubs around the island. If you need that kind of help, I can provide it for you. Find me on Instagram, Facebook. All you got to do is type in my name, and you'll find me somewhere. And I'll give you my contact and all of that. So I just say to those athletes, stay disciplined, stay driven. Find someone or something to do it for. Because I could tell you a little secret. I am a very lazy person already. You know? And I always tell people, I always look back at the chubby chatterbox from Q-Town and Blue Hills. That is what I call myself, because you know that is how I saw myself for so long. You know, and I never lost sight of that. No matter how many accolades, academic, sports, I always saw that chubby chatterbox from Q-Town. And that allowed me to continue pushing. Because if I ever saw 2-time bronze medalist in Nassau last year, I might have slacked off 2 days and thought I could have taken a break at training a couple of times this year. Yep. You know, I might have thought that, man, I'm injured this year. You know, I got 2 bronze last year. I could just pack it up. I could call it a Carifta career. And so I have to thank my parents for that.
I was going to ask you that question.
I have to thank my mother, Robin Cox, my father, Antwon Walkin. I want to give special shout out to my aunties and uncles. I have to give an extra special shout out to my aunt in Jamaica, Constance, who I live with. And another extra shout out to my auntie Rosie. She is really my second mother, Rosenelle Cox. I love you, Auntie Rosie. I know she's watching. And all of my mother's siblings, all of my father's siblings, because they truly keep me grounded. You know, they support wherever they can, whenever they can. They ensure that whatever it is that Ravon and I need is provided, and they do that actually for other athletes as well. You know, and so they have set a great example for me in terms of leadership. My mother has set a great example for me. My father has set a great example for me, and so all I try to do is pay it forward. That's it.
Okay. I just want to say a big thank you to all the athletes who went to Carifta. I mean, from Xavier and GT, to Ronaldo from North Cakers, and all the other athletes here in Providenciales. Turks and Caicos, let me tell you, these folks, they did tremendously well.
20 of the best.
It was foot to foot behind the other athletes. Yes, we didn't bring medals back, but what we did brought is the hope, you can say. And our athletes is no longer the trailing athletes that you want to speak. We are the ones that now can match other athletes by saying they are foot to foot coming in at the finish line. So I want to thank you guys for the hard work and training you put in. And if you think that you didn't put in enough then, well, like Mr. Walkin said, get back on that track tomorrow and start preparing for Carifta next year this time. That's the only way you can get there. So I would say to you guys, thank you very much, but get back to the basics, get back to your hard work, get into the gym. Mr. Jared, Sports Commission have a strength program down there. Get into that. You need that along with your training. Your body have to also have some sort of physical training, right, Sir Anthony? So that is important, and that will help you propel to that finish line when you have that drive. That's what strength training does. So I want to thank you tremendously, parents. I want to thank you for letting us your kids. Coaches, I want to thank you for your hard work in there, but they haven't just get us to that point. Now let's get over that hurdle, and next year bring home some gold and silver as well. With that, but it's bronze round is not.
I could leave you with a little inside joke for athletes. Talking about fitness, we always joke about the quarter mile being one of the hardest races in track and field, 400 meters. Yeah. And we say when those glutes lock on the home stretch coming home, only 2 things could help you: background work and God.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. That's it. And that's where the strength training comes in. Yeah. And that's what we say: 3,000 meters, all that stuff. Man, you in that strive going, you're locking your run. But when you coming foot to foot home, you need that extra push. That's where that training comes in. So don't let anybody fool you that I could train you. You need the right people to train you. And that's where Mr. Garland and his team at the Sports Commission, that's what they train for. That's what they are trained for. Coaches coach, they do your fitness. So I want to preach that to you because I actually gonna need it because it's gonna be a real crazy next year Carifta. Those Jamaican guys ain't giving up, and a lot of them are young.
Yep.
Who going back again, and they're gonna. So we need to put that extra in there. You know what I see Cayman Islands. I want that to be one of our boys and girls. I mean, it's a long course, but that's what. It's not too long. You can do it. Okay, so that's my 2 cents.
All right. Well, we're literally out of time. Antwon, thank you so very, very much for being back in Turks and Caicos with another jewel for us to enjoy. And most importantly, thank you for your work ethics, Mr. Purple and White. And I say that's a private joke. He knows what I'm talking about. Right? But before we let it all go away, Kalsey Brooks, Sharon Simons.
Just continue to work hard, man. I mean, I know this boy from high school just went out there and threw the discus and the shot put and, hey, national record. So just continue to work hard and continue to believe in yourself. Well, I know you can be confident in the crack stuff, so I know that. So we just continue. Definitely need,
He's still talking.
Continue to be yourself
He's
and
still talking.
yes, man. Continue to push on. I know your mommy from high school days. Trust me. She was a very competitive person, along with your uncles and your aunties. It's like a family of competitiveness when it comes to track and field. So they've been doing it for a while now, but you're the person that really stand up when it comes to throws and the discus and shot put, because when you hear cocks, you always think about sprints. But ever since you start doing the javelin and the discus and the shot put, you take it to another level, because growing up everything was cocks and sprints, and now you're here, you're throwing and you're doing very, very well. So I'm sure, and to be a captain, I must say that even speaks volumes of your hard work and dedication to perfecting your craft. So I urge you to just continue to be you, continue to be that humble person that you are, and do your best to lead, and do your best that you can for Turks and Caicos, and also the young athletes that are coming up. Continue to be a mentor for them.
There you have it. All right, Sharon, from you.
Yes, I just want to echo the sentiments of Kalsey and Godfrey. And I want to say congratulations to all the athletes that perform and represent the Turks and Caicos at the Welkin, Carifta Games in Grenada. To the TC3As, to the Sports Commission, to the Minister and the government of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Congratulations. We're almost there. Let me say that. We've made strides and we're almost there. We need to get over the hump, and I know we will get over the hump. Things are moving in the right direction when it comes to sports. We have to invest a little more, and once we invest a little more, we will reap the rewards. And to you, Antwon, and to your twin brother, Rayvon, I know he was a little disappointed, but continue to push forward. Aim for the stars. The world is your oyster. Best of luck and everything.
Thank you very much, Sharon. And I want to say a special thank you to the TC3As, to you, and the sponsors that was able to help us get you to Grenada. Without not having you there, a lot of the followers on Instagram and Facebook and all sorts of other social media platforms that we were using would not have been privy to have heard the interviews, with you and Antwon and see the photographs and the progression of all the athletes. It was really important. I want to thank the TC3s as well too. They had a small contingent there also in the media side, and that was also very important because everyone wanted to see what was happening, even though persons were watching it from Turks and Caicos, but it was more important to hear that one-on-one interview at the tail end. So thank you to Sharon, and of course, Kalsey, thank you as well too for the back chats on the back end as we were talking a lot about the results. And I'm hoping we can link with maybe Rayvon. I'm not sure. Maybe next week.
Next week, Wednesday.
Hopefully. Is he in country or is he's away?
We actually head back out on Tuesday.
You head back out on Tuesday.
Unfortunately, but I'm sure we can probably get something arranged.
We'll try to do that, yeah. It would be nice to have him on and just to talk a little bit about some of the challenges he also faced. So close in the octagon.
On behalf of the entire Carifta team, I'd also like to say a big thank you to all of our supporters, to the entire Turks and Caicos Islands. Your love was felt, your presence was felt, your prayers were heard, and we love you guys. We have to say a special thanks to all of those persons who traveled all the way to Grenada with us.
Yes.
You know, as small a country as we are, we find a way to have a great support every single year in those stands.
Yes.
And we have to thank those fans. You know, there are some of them who come every year. You know, Miss Belinda Lightburn, Miss Mavis Williams, those ladies, they come every single year and root for every athlete that's wearing Turks and Caicos clothes.
Claire and his wife.
But yes, Mr. Claire. How could I forget Mr. Claire? And those are patrons who come every single year and support in whatever way they can, whether or not they're coming with a team or supporting financially from abroad. And so we have to say a big thank you to them.
Yeah. Right. Before you go, I want to say thank you to Ms. Edith Skippins and her team, because was the president of the T-shirt, because what you just said about her paying for the physiotherapist. You see, a lot of folks don't see things behind the scenes. You know, the questions are asked what this money is being spent on, and you hear all kind of crazy stuff. Look, you hear what he just said. It went to get that special physiotherapist. So, you know, Ms. Edith Skippin's done. She done missed a step when trying to help in that kind of way. So, yes, your money is being given. Sometimes you don't probably see it, but this is some of the things that your money go towards. And I want to thank her tremendously for her hard effort. She have her way, folks. We all know that. That's my girl. I would give up for the world. But without persons like her, the sport won't be where it is today. And regardless to what, thank you, Edie, and your team, because you did a tremendous job helping this young man and others to get there. And like he just said, those fans, Turks and Caicos, you should come. Those fans are there. When they say Turks and Caicos,
it makes a
you
difference.
could hear us
going
across, transcending across the stadium. And you can hear, big as Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados, and which it was not as a lot, but Turks and Caicos was a lot.
And you know, funny enough, in that entire throwing competition, that fifth round attempt, the one that would have secured the medal position for me at 52 meters, I was the only person to actually get a clap from the stands.
That's it, yeah.
Wow.
In the entire competition.
Yeah.
And that came from those Turks and Caicos fans. So I can tell you, your impact is felt. And I don't have anything but love for you guys.
That's good. So come next Carifta planned in advance.
Trinidad.
Miss Edith Skippins will have all the information. She booked her ticket November of last year or October. So why don't you do the same thing? It's $400. I don't know how much I can go to Trinidad this year, but if you just join this team, can get in contact with her, get your ticket cheaply, get your hotel cheaply, as you know in advance what happened. I'm giving you a heads up so how to get there. And because we were loud this year, I know we were loud in Nassau. So we can need to be loud in Trinidad, because our athletes is this close, as Sharon said.
And to the musicians that traveled from Turks and Caicos, the Jonkin
I don't know how they got there, but I heard they were playing along with the Bahamian Jonkin. I didn't get down there to visit that part of the stadium where they were, but I'm quite sure that they were welcome. I heard they were welcomed by the Bahamian Junkanoo very well, and they put them in with the Junkanoo. So that had to be a wall of experience for those young folks.
We owe Grenada a lot too, because that march that they would have allowed us to do at the end of the games.
Yeah.
That isn't something that is done very often. You know, it was done last year in Nassau. Well, of course, we were in Nassau, so Junkanoo was a thing.
Sure.
But they allowed us that special moment, and that was shared mostly between the Bahamian Turks and Caicos, Grenada, and a couple other teams that were still at the stadium at that time. But that is the kind of thing that drives the athletes.
Yes.
The ability to have that fun with each other. Just in that moment, the amount of cultural diversity that our athletes were exposed to is second to none. That is the kind of experience that the Carifta Games is all about, and that is the type of experience that I want every single athlete in the Turks and Caicos to get.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And shout outs to Nene, I think that's her name, from South Caicos. Some 300,000 views and counting. That dance she did on the track.
who?
I can't tell you.
Listen, I do have another video.
Let's leave that alone.
I have a video of, but I cannot share without the permission.
No. Let's leave that alone. We're out of time.
Only me have this video.
We're really out of time. So on behalf of everyone here, Godfrey and myself, Antwon, thank you so very much again. Glad to have you back. Sharon, to you and Kalsey, we're out from here in Provo, but you guys can take it away on that side.